Hello and welcome to AI for Yoga Teachers. Today we're talking about money mindset. So, welcome to the meeting. As you're getting settled, let me go to gallery view and look at all of you. Lots of familiar faces. Hi. Hi, Renate. Hi, Preeti. Hi, Eileen, Luann, Estella. Hi. Hi, Anne, Diana, Kelly. Hi, Ilana. I see you. Elena from Mentorship. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. So, just first question right off the bat. Give a yes in the chat if even those two words, money mindset, freak you out, make you cringe. You're feeling, yeah, already some yeses I'm seeing. If you just already feel like, wow, absolutely. So the following. Okay. Eileen almost didn't come. I know. Okay. I got you. We're going to go slowly. It's going to be fun. I originally scheduled the meeting for 2 hours, but I think we can do it in 90 minutes. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Let's start with 1 minute of meditation to honor Mama and ourselves as we transition into this space together. Just 1 minute of silence. Sit, if you can, in front of your sit bones. So that means tilt your pelvis slightly forward, establishing the normal curves. Those of you who are in experiential anatomy with us this semester know what I'm talking about. And let the body lead the way. It's just 1 minute to get in touch with the sensations that are arising right now into your breath arriving here. Blink your eyes open. Let's get started. I have slides to keep us on track. So today we're talking about money mindset. And through the lens of AI, we're going to do a couple exercises where ChatGPT is going to help us with our work today. So this is kind of the feeling tone I'm guessing many of you are arriving in today's class with the idea that you're ready to earn more from teaching yoga, but part of you feels conflicted about mixing yoga with money. Give a yes in the chat if that resonates, if that lands with you. Yes. Yeah. Andrea says people don't want to pay a lot for yoga. Yeah, that's definitely a kind of firmly held belief we have. Yes. Maybe a little, says Yuko. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, oh wait, what does Eileen say? Yes, but for me, the bigger issue is living in a poor country where people really can't afford US rates. Yeah. Um, I need a lot of mindset shifting. Yeah. Okay, somewhat. So this is kind of the bubble that we're in today. I'm ready to earn more, but part of me feels conflicted. So the first thing we're going to say is how human of me. This is a very common struggle. This is a very common set of beliefs. Even I saw it in the chat. Some of the mindsets that are very deeply held and deeply ingrained about this work that we love and share, teaching yoga. So, how human of me, how human of you. to feel conflicted about earning money from something that you enjoy or something you feel passionate about, something that you know helps people so much. So, this is my thesis statement that by rejecting AI and avoiding going online with our work, many yoga teachers are unintentionally choosing invisibility over impact. And I'm really passionate about helping you choose visibility and impact. So, content, which is something that I teach in my Start Before You're Ready mentorship program, is the growth engine of your business, even if you're an in-person person. So, even if you teach in person, content is going to help you grow and reach more people. What is content? It's basically anything that you share online. It's from your website to your Instagram, YouTube, newsletter, anything that you're putting out into the digital space is considered content. And we all became yoga teachers because of a love of yoga, and now we are being shifted into content creators, some of us less willing than others. So, my central thesis is that yoga teaches us presence. What we just did, that minute of sitting and getting in touch with our internal weather state, I sometimes like to call it, that is what content creation is about, at least the methodology, the way that I teach it, the way that I practice it. Content creation starts with presence for me. It starts with getting in touch with what's going on inside of me and then sharing that. So you absolutely don't need a perfect plan. I've never had a perfect plan. I want to encourage you to begin with the willingness to listen inward and to begin. My whole ethos of Start Before You're Ready is literally that, just taking one step and then the next, not knowing where it's going. I just went for a walk before this meeting, after lunch. Before this meeting, I did my little sort of 35-minute loop near my house, and I walked back in the door and I picked up my notebook. I had a kind of flash, a sentence right as I was coming in the front door. There was a sentence that appeared, and I thought, that's a poem. Like that, there's something there. And I sat down, and before I finished getting ready for this class, before I went upstairs and did my hair, before I talked to my partner, nothing. I just came in here, sat down, and started writing. I just took that presence that I touched on my walk, and then I grabbed it. I felt some glimmer of something, and I grabbed it and I wrote it down, and that's going to become Sunday's newsletter. So this is a process that is so, I think, familiar to us as yoga teachers, as people of the body who are used to interoception and used to listening, used to kind of awareness practices of paying attention to the thoughts that we have. And that's the place from which I mine all of my content that I'm sharing. And I'm going to teach you some of that today. So, the AI piece, we were going to talk about more. It's really going to help you start. It's going to help you, in German, there's an expression, jump over your shadow. And so, what I find AI is like an assistant that really helps. For example, I'm a very auditory person. I think in sentences already, like, but they're verbal. And so I speak into ChatGPT, and it really helps me translate between the auditory information that I have and then the visual, which I'm not as strong in kind of grammar, spelling, syntax, all of that stuff. And I find it it helps me jump over my shadow, my stuckness about, oh, how do I actually write that on the page? I'm getting from here into now I've already got a draft that's written out that I can start to edit. Does that make sense? Let me pause my share and look at you for a second. Give me a thumbs up. Is this making sense thus far? Yes. Okay. Okay, good. Good. The my thesis as I'm building it. I'm building my case before the jury. Okay, so just to make sure, I think I'd love to see in the chat how you found your way to this class. So I put it out on my Start Before You're Ready newsletter. I put it out on my Sunday newsletter, and I put it out on Instagram. And I also did a couple Instagram ads, which I'm experimenting with. So I'd love to know how you ended up in this room. Just in case you aren't on this newsletter, my Start Before You're Ready newsletter. So about 4,500 people there. And that's where I'm sharing all of this type of content. Please go here, or you can point your camera at this QR code and you can go to this link and make sure you're subscribed. Also subscribe to my Sunday newsletter there if you want to read the poem that I've just written in my notebook that will be going out on Sunday. So today we're talking about money mindset. And then I've conceived of this as a series. The good news is if you've already registered that Zoom link, you're registered now for the future classes, which are going to be social media game, social media as a game, social media is a game. Hoping we're going to tap into kind of some fun and lightness around social media to counteract our dread and discussed. And then in December, we're going to talk about content that converts. What does it really mean? The difference between making content to make content and making content that helps people move in the direction of your offerings. And in January, we're going to talk about cultivating biological intelligence, which is one of my favorite topics. And that's a little bit what I just touched on, the idea of listening through the body. So creating content through the lens of the body. Okay, so I'm going to look in the chat and see what you're all saying about how you found your newsletter, Sunday newsletter. I saw an advert on Facebook. Okay, great. Welcome, Jillian. Newsletter. Okay, great. Great. So most people are here from the newsletter. Wonderful, wonderful. So most of you are already on here, but just in case, last moment before I switch the slide, and that link is where you need to go because the recordings are going to go out there. Okay. Mm. Here's our plan for today. We have 6 points to cover. Number one is your body, mind ready for this learning. Number two, how are we going to frame this conversation today around money mindset and AI? What's your current relationship with earning money? What is your big picture vision? How can you start today? And then we'll close. I'd love to share a little bit more about my Start Before You're Ready mentorship. Give a yes in the chat if this sounds good, if you're ready to go on this 6-part journey with me. Okay, yes. I'm seeing them. Yeah, okay, good. So points 1 through 5 will be added value, free class for you, very transparent. Part 6 is where I will tell you about an offering, a paid offering that I would love for you to join. You're welcome to leave the room after part 5. I will be very clear about when we switch over to talking about my mentorship, which is a ton of fun. So hopefully you'll stay till the end. But this is where we're going to start. The body, mind. Is my body, mind ready to welcome in what we're about to talk about? So we're going to begin with 10 minutes of what I call moving pranayama. And we're going to get on our mats together. We're going to use simple yoga shapes. The intention here is to anchor our attention in the breath. The intention is to anchor our attention in the breath. And I was first introduced to this from a teacher named Mark Whitwell, who studied directly with Desikachar. So this is what I got from a week workshop with him. I'm sure he's teaching something very different, but this is what I heard, was this whole way of practicing asana where the shapes are secondary and the shapes are de-emphasized. And so really you can do it if you're wearing jeans. Like you don't have to be wearing yoga tights. We're not going to be doing any flashy positions. It's really about quieting your nervous system and awakening the body. And then what I'm after is creating an internal spaciousness for the work ahead. So, how does that sound? I'm imagining some of you were not 100% prepared to lie down on the floor right now, but I'm going to lead us. Let me spotlight me. I'm going to lead us through. It'll be 10 minutes. I'm going to set my timer. And this is going to help shift the nervous system. So begin by lying down on your back and straighten the legs. Completely relax everything now. So this is a brief 3 breaths in Shavasana as you land. Literally 3 breaths here. Remembering that wherever there are ribs, there are lungs. So allowing the rib cage to spread on the inhalation and contract on your third exhalation. Shift now into Supta Tadasana. So you're activating your legs now, pressing your thighs down into the floor. You're going to press your little fingers down into the floor, the back of your head into the floor on the inhalation. And exhale, you let it all go. The feet will naturally roll out, the hands will open, the palms to the ceiling, exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. Once again on the inhalation, everything turns on. Press the legs down, press the back of the head down, the little finger side. Maybe even your triceps, your upper arms lift away from the mat. And exhale. One more time here. Flexing the feet, engaging every muscle you can feel into. And exhale. Release. Slide one heel and then the other, bending the knees. Inhale, begin to tilt the pelvis down towards into a back bend shape slightly. It's minimal. And on the exhale, I lift the tailbone, contract the lower belly, pelvic tuck. Inhale. I open. Pelvic floor is spreading. Exhale. Feel the pelvic floor contract, belly, low belly contracting. Inhale. We expand. Exhale. We contract. One more time. It's so juicy. And this time, inhale, open. When you exhale, press slightly into the feet. And that tucking motion, you now lift up maybe 1 inch, 2 centimeters off the mat. And inhaling. With an exhalation, you now press and you lift slightly higher up off the mat. We're not all the way to bridge yet. Taking about 3 breaths to very slowly raise your pelvis higher and higher. Now I'm 85% of the way up. On your next breath, lift the pelvis all the way up. Contracting the buttocks and release, roll down. Inhale, arch open. Exhale, this time lift the arms up and over. And release down. Inhale, open. 2 more times like that. Exhale, press into the feet. And release. Inhale and exhale. And back down to the mat. Draw your knees into your chest and begin to roll in one direction on the back of your sacrum. And reverse. Draw both knees over to the left now, all the way over. So the pelvis twists all the way over. And then I unwind my right arm, taking a lying twist. The inhale, I move in the direction of my pelvis slightly. And on the exhalation, it's like a micro vinyasa. I draw my right shoulder blade a little bit further down towards the mat. Two more times like that. And roll back onto your back. Come over to the other side. Bring your pelvis all the way up and over. So the twist begins all the way into hips. And now I unwind this left top arm. Inhale, twist slightly towards the pelvis, and exhale, the left shoulder blade looks for the floor. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. Continue to roll over. Come on to hands and knees for a few rounds of cat-cow. All-time greatest hits. Favorite set of movements. Inhale. We're doing the same thing here as we were doing on the back, actually. Exhale, tilt. Tuck, sorry. Excellent. Tuck and round. Inhale. So matching your cervical spine and your lumbar spine, they're a pair. Thinking about your neck rounding down just as your tailbone tucks under. And inhale. Lift the heart. Lift the tailbone. Let the chin float up. Exhale. It's really juicy movement here. Eyes are closed. Inhale. Lift open. And exhale. Come to neutral. Draw your right arm forward and your left arm back. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. And release. Left arm forward, right leg back. On the inhalation, exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhale. And release. One more time on each side. Right arm forward, left foot back. Exhale, we round. Inhale. And release. Last side, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Round all the way back now into child's pose for our last 30 seconds here of our 10-minute sequence. I don't want an extended child's pose with the arms forward. Let the hands come back towards the feet and round in and down. Opening between the shoulder blades, opening between the pelvis and the rib cage. Tailbone is heavy and tucked under. Eyes are closed. You're inside the cave now. Next inhalation, lift up. Okay, so that was 10 minutes, which is shocking to me. And what we did was really stay close into the breath. What, how do you feel right now in your body mind? What is your, in a single word in the chat, what is your internal state right now? Centered, yes. Expansive, fluid, relaxed. Present, grounded, refreshed, centered, settled, even. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Tired. Yeah, that was probably there. We were covering it up and pushing it down. The tiredness was there. Softer, Estella. Yes. Quiet from Kelly. Okay. Exactly. Mission accomplished. So back to our slides. I would like you to open your notebook right now, and you are going to write these three sentences. I'm going to write them with you. I am available for a shift in my perspective. I am open to guidance on my path toward abundance. And finally, I welcome thoughts and ideas that deeply support me. Close your eyes and just one round of breath, letting yourself hold these to be true, leaning into that feeling space of these being true, especially if this feels very woo-woo and very California and you don't like it. Just give me 10 seconds, one in breath and one out breath, where you hold these as true, not just in your mind, but in your body. And yes, I do believe in shifting one breath at a time. I think holding something to be true in your body mind for one breath can make a difference. So, how are we going to frame our conversation today? Money mindset and AI. First of all, I'd love to connect a little bit and get to know who you are, and I'll introduce myself. And then I want to set the context of our relationship with AI. So today's class is for you if you're a yoga teacher, a studio owner, wellness professional. You're ready to feel more confident being visible. You want to feel proud of how you show up online. You would like to earn more money without selling out or burning out. It's not for you if you're looking for viral growth hacks, because I don't know any of those. If you want fast results without showing up consistently, if you're afraid to take action and let yourself experiment, experimentation is huge. Or if your business isn't rooted in service or integrity. So I'd love to know a little bit more about you. Three questions for each of you in the chat. Where are you joining from? Do you currently teach yoga online and studio hybrid? And what's one area of your business that you would like to grow this coming year? So I'm looking online, says Frederica. Argentina. Hi, Rocio. Yoga teacher in person, want to grow online. Okay. Portugal, home studio, more private clients. Yes, Eileen, we can do it. Germany, online. Wait. Oh, it's going too fast. Germany, online retreats. Barbara, Wisconsin, hybrid and social media growth. I'm from Iowa, USA. Welcome. Teach online and in person. British Columbia. Austin, Texas. Hiatus for a couple of years. I'd like to begin again. Yes. And where is it that you want to grow? Some of you are just saying where you are and what you teach. So the third question is key here. What's one area of your business you want to grow this year? Online and in person. grow retreats and mindfulness courses. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, no, not teaching yoga, but teaching meditation in person and combining creativity and leadership coaching online. Yes. Yes, Melinda. Online and in person. Germany, UK, video content, connect more with students, grow visibility locally and online. Okay. Day-long retreats. Yes, Marcia. From Maine. My God, it's always so amazing and so humbling where everyone in the world is from. I love Zoom. I love Zoom. It's such magic. Okay, expand on the rural area. Central Scotland, I teach 3 classes a week, one yin and two in an immersive room. I'd like people to find me so that I can help them. Yes. Yes, Jillian, I want people to find you. Yes. Renata. Hi, Renata. From Hamburg, Germany, teaching since 15 years in person. Need to grow online to switch from in-person to online clients. Yes, you do. Hi, Liza. Liza's here in London, online and in person. Want to grow one-to-one business. Okay. I know Liza from my retreat. She was at my retreat in September. Hi, Betty. I know Betty. Northwest Montana, teach online and in person, want to expand online. Okay. Lots of similar stuff. Let's get back to the slides. Thank you for answering those questions. So here's a quiz. What do you struggle with? You're going to type one of these words in the chat that's your number one thing. Overthinking, blocked, income, or competition. I'd love to see those words in the chat. So overthinking is I want to create content that grows my teaching, but I second guess everything that I write, or you write drafts and you never post them. Who's in the overthinking category? You can also say all four if that's really true for you. I have something meaningful to share is the blocked category, but I can't seem to express it clearly or consistently. Income, I want to earn more from teaching, but I don't know how content fits into that. Competition. Other teachers seem to have a strategy, a voice, and paying students, and I feel stuck and invisible. So let's see where most people are um, coming in. A lot of overthinking, a lot of blocked. Katya says all four, blocked, competition. Yeah, yeah. Overthinking. This is like a support group. I want you to be honest. There's no wrong answer. There's no judgment. I have all of these things. I have experienced all of these things. That's why I put them up here. So don't feel like you should be embarrassed if you're saying all four. Overthinking and blocked, income and overthinking, says Lon. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're all in the right room. So I would like to briefly introduce myself, tell you a little bit about my background as a yoga educator and mentor, why I built Start Before You're Ready to help yoga teachers lead, and how this class will help you make aligned progress. I'm really interested in practical, like forward momentum. So we're going to get some of that today. The yoga is my family business. This is Mama. I love this photo with her teacher, BKS Iyengar. This photo is probably taken in like 1980 in Pune, India. And my parents co-founded Yoga Journal magazine. Lots of other things I could say about my lineage, but these are kind of the big picture facts. So I grew up in San Francisco, California. My mom has been teaching for, I think she says now 54 years, 53 years, something like that. And so I'm 42. I've been doing yoga since the womb. That's what I always say. And my path is that I became a certified teacher in 2005, and I earned a master's in design from Columbia University in New York City in 2010. So I have a real passion for design and the mixture of design and Dharma. I've been creating yoga content consistently since 2015, which apparently is 10 years. And we have a platform, a learning platform called Lassiter.yoga. Give a yes in the chat if you've ever taken one of our courses. I know many of you, I recognize many of you. Or you can say what courses. I know some of you are in our experiential anatomy course right now. Lots of yeses. Eileen, I know. Eileen has taken everything. Kate, I know. Tina, I recognize so many of your names. Somatic Woman. We're going to do that again. We're going to run it again next year. We're just having a meeting about the dates. Yes. Okay. Restorative and yeah. Okay, good. So you know what we're doing over there. I built Start Before You're Ready to help yoga teachers step into leadership with clarity and confidence. That happened in 2025. So as I was putting this together, I laughed at myself because it takes me 5 years to do everything. So it was like, I did my yoga certification 2005. I got my master's degree in 2010. I started Lassiter Yoga 2015. I had my kids at the end of 2019, my twin boys. So basically 2020. And then now 2025 is my next big idea. So I am a slow but steady builder on my path. Today, I really am oriented towards, excited to encourage you to take aligned action. So that means this class is experiential. We're going to move now through a couple of exercises that are not just ideas. And if you know experiential anatomy, our flagship anatomy course, I have a very similar approach to how I teach content and today with money mindset. So you're going to experience it, even as you just did, sort of feeling the breath in your body and the movement. We're going to feel this as we go. So it's not going to be theoretical. You'll leave with clear next steps to apply what you've learned right away. And this is, as I'm already seeing, you're very active in the chat, which I love. This is co-creative. It's an active learning experience. It's not passive. The more you put in the chat and the more you participate, the better it's going to go. And the more information that I have as we go. So the idea of start before you're ready is content is about iteration. I know we have some non-native English speakers. Iteration is a fancy word that I learned at architecture school that means doing the same thing over and over and over and making it better as you go. You're very familiar with it. My iPhone is whatever, iPhone 15, right? So there was iPhone 1 and then 2 and then 3 and 4. And the company learned with every successive iteration of the iPhone, they've gotten better at making iPhones, and the iPhones themselves have gotten better. That is the concept of iteration. And that is what I want to encourage you all how to think about your presence online. Your presence online is not just a perfect performance. You're going to make your perfect website and then you're going to launch it, and then that's going to be the end. I have remade my website 73 times in 10 years. It's about over and over and over and looking at it and making it better. So, this is the way I describe iteration. My Instagram account, when we look at someone's Instagram account, I know I do it, we're so attracted to looking at their follower number. That's the big number. That's the number that we think matters the most. But what I do when I'm working with someone as a mentor and I look at their Instagram account, the number one the number I'm looking at is how many posts have you made? So yeah, this is a big number, 23.5 thousand, but this is also a big number. 2,375 times since I made this slide this morning. I posted one more time, 2,376 times. That doesn't include stories. That's just grid posts. 2,375 times I've had the chance to try and fail and experiment and learn. That's called iteration. That's iteration in a nutshell. This number is iteration. Okay, how many times have I posted as Lizzie Lassiter, yoga teacher, on Instagram, trying to speak publicly, learning how to do it? So, if you share a story, take your phone right now, take a photo of the screen, and you make a story about the class today or one of your key takeaways. You could take a photo of your notebook as you're writing in the exercises later. You could make a little video of yourself, whatever. Do a story from today's class. If you tag me, which is at Lizzie Lassiter, I'll repost it for you. Okay, so setting the context, our relationship to AI. We, myself included, have a lot of judgments and fears around AI. That's a fact. I'd love to see in the chat, quite honestly, what are some of your judgments slash fears about engaging with AI? No one is writing anything. Soullessness. Okay, good, good. Now they're coming. Soulless content, plagiarism. I don't trust it to be discerning enough. It feels like cheating, Yulia. It's not personal. No control where all information comes from. I use AI as a dyslexic, so I don't sound stupid. Melinda, I'm with you. Yeah. Don't be scared. Just treat it as a tool. I don't know anything about Instagram. How do I learn? Abundance and low quality content online with little value. We all start sounding the same, says Blanca. That's what they're worried about. I feel Susanna feels guilty about using it. Okay. So the guilt side, what is it that's below that thought, Susanna and others? If you feel guilty about using it, there was the one piece about it feels like cheating, like it's too easy. It shouldn't be this easy. Um, there's also environmental concerns, says Bonnie. Yes, environmental impact. That we're using our Doreen says using my brain less. So I ask chat and hilariously, Dorleen, as you've typed it, you said we'll use my brain less, but there's a typo in brain. Bray. We'll use my bray less. So I asked chat. Very relatable. I make a lot of typos. Don't know where to start. Do no harm. Estella says it won't sound like me. It'll be less of my own voice. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. I share all of these concerns. Um, Let me go back to the slides. I hear these fears. I hear the fear. Number one, the landscape feels like it's shifting so quickly and it feels really uncertain. I feel like I've just figured out how to make a certain kind of reel. And then my brother sent me this video tool yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, it like everything that I've done before, now I can just create video out of thin air. And so all of my skills of how to run a photo shoot and create content like the old-fashioned way, are those even relevant anymore? It feels like a mudslide, like a slow-moving mudslide, that everything is changing and we have to learn all these new tools and skills. Um, there's also a thread in yoga that we fear AI is going to replace the yoga teacher, or that if we start using AI tools, then we will, like, we implemented an anatomy tutor, an AI anatomy tutor in experiential anatomy, and there was a lot of criticism, or some criticism, that came of just like, is that going to replace the teacher? So my philosophy is that AI should reinforce our teaching and not replace it. And for me, I'm using AI tools, which we're going to work with together today, to increase impact and reduce burnout, all without losing the soul of the practice. So there's time on my mat that's away from devices. That's the soul of my practice. That's where all of my intuition and biological intelligence comes from. That's where my teaching comes from. And then there's AI that I use to kind of translate it into text and to help with the dyslexic misspelling typo side of things, and to help me polish and to help me actually shorten a lot to make things easier for short attention spans. So I just want to make sure we feel complete with that. Lon says, I feel much more excited about it since your free class in the summer. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So Renata says, I'm afraid of losing my individual voice, and AI can't feel. I know. I know. AI can't feel. And that's why yoga teachers are so well placed. And I'm going to talk about this in some of the future sessions in this series. But I think that we're super well placed with our students now, because students are going to be engaging more and more with AI. And we all know we're dissolving as a species more and more into the screens. And so I think that our skills and what we're offering inside of a yoga class, the human to human connection and the co-regulation that goes on in a yoga context, is going to become like a precious, rare, more and more of a rare commodity, a rare gem, a rare precious metal. Yeah, Renata's giving thumbs up. Yeah, I think that's going to be, that's my optimistic viewpoint on it. I think that people are going to crave more and more what we are specialists in offering. I also am seeing that in retreats, for example, like I just did my retreat in Italy for a week of we're active in the morning and restorative in the afternoon, and like it what people say, and what I feel too, is that the yoga classes are nice and it helps us get kind of tune our energy and open our chakras. But what people are really craving is just like the long meals around the table and just eating 3 meals a day with people. And that kind of human connection, which is something we facilitate in a yoga context and at a yoga retreat. Okay. So let's go back to the slides. Part number 3, we're going to start now. What's your current relationship with earning money? Okay, here's the money mindset piece. What is your current relationship with earning money? So, this is our first exercise. I'd like you to take out a journal, an actual piece of paper, and I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. We're going to look at these 3 questions. When I think about earning money, what beliefs or emotions come up? You could even say earning more money. When I think about raising my prices for my services, for my privates, for my classes, for my retreats, what feelings arise in my body and mind? What part of me doesn't feel worthy of being well paid for my work? The last question is based on family systems therapy and the idea that there are these inner parts. Some of you are familiar with that work. So that's where that question is pointing to. What voices, another way you could say, inside of you don't feel worthy of being well paid for your work? Don't think you can. Um, oh, Carmelia, that's exactly what I want you to write down. I want you to write more about that, that I need more qualifications to be able to increase my prices. These are in German what are called Glaubenssätze, things, firmly held beliefs that we think, things that we think are true. So I'm going to start the timer. You have 10 minutes. You are going to free write about these, start with these 3 questions and see where it takes you. This is a writing practice. So, what that means is you pretend like you're getting paid by the word. You just keep writing whatever comes up and you let yourself be surprised by what comes through. I'm going to mute myself and start the timer now. Okay, one more minute. I'm going to cut us a little bit short for time. You have one more minute to finish and summarize any learnings. Go back and underline anything interesting and summarize it into a single sentence or two, what has come up. Okay, pens down. So here's what happens next. You've journaled by hand, and that's the intuitive embodied step. You just tapped into your unconscious mind through writing. And I'd like you to take a few key sentences from your journaling and put them into the chat right now. So let me see. That was revealing, says Candace. Okay, great. So um, I'm going to screenshot now what's in the chat. Good. Fear, imposter syndrome, family balance time, don't know technology, not good enough, worthlessness, worthiness. Um, okay, good. These are really good. So I'm not a picture perfect yoga teacher. I'm not good enough or deserving enough. Oh, these are heartbreaking and so good. Does the energy to effort ratio enough? I never want to be labeled as greedy for sharing the practice of yoga. Absolutely, absolutely. It's not how I want to use my time. Will I lose students? Will they challenge me that teaching online was as difficult as live? I feel like I don't want to have to convince others that this stuff is important and valuable and that I won't be able to deliver the value if I raise my prices. Okay. These are so good. Okay. I'm going to wait for like three more to come in, and I'm screenshotting these. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with ChatGPT. Afraid of under delivering, being criticized, judged, not being liked. Yeah. What came up for me was a total like little sister, daughter of, my older brothers are very successful. My mom is very successful in what she does. Like that feeling of like, I need to stay small. Um, I use pay what you like and fear if I charge a set cost, I will lose students. Yeah, I feel I'm in my husband's shadow, says Louise. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. This is ChatGPT, and I'm just in the regular chat window. Now, what I'm going to do is I've screenshot a bunch of things from the chat, and I'm just going to, oops, I don't need to take that video. I'm going to screenshot these text I'm going to drag these JPEGs in. And what I'm going to ask is I'm going to use this button and I'm going to speak. Hi, so we're doing a class about mindset for yoga teachers. And this is a sampling of what the students feel like when they think about raising their prices or what part of themselves don't feel worthy of being well paid for their work. And in general, just what emotions or beliefs come up when they think about earning money. So here's the status quo of our mindset for our group. And give us 10 mantra, single sentence mantra that are really powerful to help us counteract specifically these limiting beliefs. And could you also sort out these limiting beliefs into a couple of categories so we can understand what's going on in the room? So I've just spoken that natively, like a human being. Too, and then it transcribes it for me. And I click this arrow and I send it off. And these are just the screenshots of the chat of what everyone was saying. So now it's going to look at everything that we've said. Um, Here are the categories and self-worth and deservingness. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve more money. I'm not experienced or popular enough. Not image worthy, picture perfect teacher. I need to present better to deserve more. Oh. Fear and imposter syndrome, fear of failure, rejection, criticism, or being judged. What if I can't keep up? What if I lose students? Not believing in myself. Service versus money conflict. I don't want to be greedy. Yoga is about service, not profit. I don't want to be seen as grasping or salesy. I don't like being a salesperson. Scarcity and comparison. There's too much free content. Other studios charge less. Students won't pay more. I won't earn as much as my husband. Overwork and boundaries. I have to give more and work harder to earn more. I have no boundaries and end up working for free. I worry I'll mislead or underdeliver. I need to do everything perfectly to be worth it. Fatigue and energy deficit. I don't have enough energy, creativity, or brain power, and it's too much effort to sustain. Okay, so just first of all, crazy, amazing, all these categories. I resonate with one, two, three, four, and not as much five or six. But give your numbers in the chat. Just which of these has ChatGPT nailed it? Does everyone see at least one of these categories that resonates with them? Uh, this is crazy, says Renata. I know. Nailed it. One and three, one and four, two, one, four, two. Yeah. Yeah. One through three. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we're going through. Now here are 10 mantras that could potentially work. I'm going to read them quickly. My worth is not measured by my effort, but by my presence. I can be generous and still be well compensated. So just notice as I'm reading these, which one zings you. Raising my prices raises the standard of my teaching. Money is energy that supports the value I share. Rested resource teachers change lives. Yes. Another one for me is like organic avocado toast is expensive. Abundance is my birthright, not a reward. I am allowed to receive as deeply as I give. That's a big one for me. Being paid well allows me to serve better. I release the need to prove my value. I stand in my worth with calm confidence. Okay, look at these, maybe screenshot them. This would be a great place to do an Insta story of any of these that resonate. You can put them as a quote. So pick one of these or one that this makes you think of and put that now in the chat. Is there one that really zinged you? One mantra that comes up? Candace says they can't see them. Let me share again. Here are the mantras. Hmm. Okay, let's go back to the chat. Yeah, 10, 6. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I want you to take that mantra. I'll share it again and write it down in your notebook. Write down which one. So the one for me, being paid well allows me to serve better. That's my biggest one. That is just jumping off the screen to me. And in fact, I have these index cards, these little 3x5 cards, and I'm going to write it on there.
often.
Oops, someone is unmuted. I'm going to check that. I see you, Stephanie. I'm just going to mute you. Being paid well allows me to, what was it? Serve better? Serve. Okay. So that will now go onto my affirmation stack, and that will go by my candle that I light every morning in my meditation. And this will be with me tomorrow morning. Being paid well allows me to serve better. So take your mantra, whichever one it was for you. Close your eyes again, as we did a few minutes ago, and take one full round of inhalation and exhalation. Let's do 3 rounds of inhalation, exhalation, holding that to be true inside of your body. Feel that to be true, whichever mantra you picked. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. So I dare you, as a homework, to take this mantra. First of all, write it down, put it somewhere in your practice space, see it, read it, believe it. And I dare you, this is a dare homework, in the next couple days to drop this mantra casually into conversation with someone. And you're just going to say it as if like it's totally true. When you're having lunch with someone, you're on the phone with someone, you're just going to like say it, right? And then I'm just going to be in the background clapping for you. But it would be me having lunch with my partner and being like, maybe not even talking about me. Maybe he's talking. He's an architect, self-employed. He's always struggling with how much he should charge for his work. Newsflash, he undercharges for his work. And, I could just say to him, like, well, the thing is, like, when you're paid well, if you write like a bill that matches the amount of time you're going to spend on this project, if you're being paid well, it's going to allow you to serve the client better. You know, it's like a little game. So you're just going to try to say it at some point in conversation in the next couple days. It's terrifying, Melinda. That's why you're doing it. That's why you're doing it. At least say it once out loud. Okay. This is how we're going to speak this. I see Lon is nodding. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Okay. I love that you're terrified. So let's go back to our slides. So choose now another homework because uh, time is running, as the Indians say. So journal again. This is going to become a homework. Journal again. I want you to set a timer for 10 minutes and you write this mantra at the top of your page, and you're going to almost like in debate class. Did anyone ever do debate in high school? You're going to have to argue for why this is true. You're going to write out a whole long list where you're going to explain, in my example, why being paid well allows me to serve better. I'm going to just like have to make that case. Even if I don't 100% believe it yet, I'm going to argue. I'm going to give 5 reasons. I'm going to give 10 reasons. I'm going to write that at the top of these are 10 reasons why being paid well helps me serve my students better. And then I'm going to just force myself to just rewire it to start to argue for why it's true. And you're going to have to dig down and find some reasons because you're trying to help yourself establish this new belief. This is becoming a new part of your identity, of the way that you energetically relate to earning money for your work. Okay. And I'm telling you, this sinks deeply into your being, into the core of your body mind. And it's not necessarily about just adopting this one mantra, this one sentence. But this begins to kind of crack you open and rewire the kind of dignity and the pride and the boundaries, all the things that you have around earning money and around raising your prices or asking, because there are moments throughout your day, throughout your week, your month, your year that you don't even realize you're interacting with a money mindset. And this is going to start to rewire for you. Okay, let's move. One of my favorite mantra, I shared it in mentorship last week. Money is a renewable resource. This is a really shocking idea to hold as true. Money is a renewable resource. Imagine believing that. You can write that down. It's something I say to myself whenever I have a contraction. Like just today, there was a bill that came in that was unexpected, that was big, and I felt that. "Ugh." And then I immediately say, money is a renewable resource. That money's going to go out, new money is coming in. Or even like on a very small micro scale, I know you've all had this experience. You're at the grocery store. This happened to me on Saturday. I'm at the grocery store and I was buying like nothing. And so I thought it would be like, I don't know, 18 euros or something. It was like we went there for milk, you know? Just ended up, I was with the twins and we got a couple other like treats, but it was really like nothing. And I thought it was gonna be 18 euros. And then it was like 32 euros, which felt like a lot more. And what I hadn't realized is that the two toothbrushes that the kids picked out, I thought were like 199 toothbrushes from when I picked them off the rack, but they picked out the like 7 euro toothbrushes or something. And so too, that's like where my math was off. But I had a contraction moment when I was paying where I was like, oh, that was a lot more than I thought for milk. And that's when I say money is a renewable resource. Money is a renewable resource. This money is going out, money is coming in. Okay. What is your big picture vision? I'm going to move through this quickly, and we're not going to do this journaling exercise in real time, but I'm going to give it to you as a homework and an encouragement, something you can do as your next step. So here are the three questions. It's a very similar exercise to what we just went through. What am I dreaming of creating through my teaching and business? If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I want to build with my yoga work? What kind of impact do I want to have on the students I serve? Screenshot this, write these in your notebook. And then what I suggest you do is step one, you're going to journal for 10 minutes, just as we just did on those three topics. Then you're going to go for a walk. You're going to actually move your body. And I suggest you download the ChatGPT app. And there's a voice mode where you can speak with the AI, and you're going to speak what you're going to say. I was journaling about my vision, and these are some of the things that came up, and this is what I'm dreaming of creating. And if I couldn't fail, you're just going to talk, talk, talk. You're going to actually say these things out loud, which sounds scary, but you're going to speak them out loud. And then again, you're going to ask ChatGPT to help you create a single mantra that affirms this vision as reality. You're going to then write it out. You're going to put it on a card. You're going to say it to people in your lives. You're going to say it, and you're going to start telling people in your world in any small way about your vision. Scary? Let me check the chat. What's the vibe? Frightening? Can you put the sentences in the chat? Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, I think I can. Let me put them in the chat right now. Oh, uh, there they are. Scary, exciting. Excitement and fear live very close together in the nervous system. They have a very similar, they're like two colors next to each other. They're like red and orange on the color wheel. How do I save the chat? Renata, you're just going to have to make a screenshot, or you're going to have to catch the recording, or you're going to have to quickly write these down. What am I dreaming of creating through my teaching and business? If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I want to build with my yoga work? What kind of impact do I want to have on the students I serve? So you're going to go for a walk. You're going to speak these things out loud and ask for help creating a single mantra. And that mantra, you're again going to write down. You're going to say it. You're going to share it. You're going to repeat it to yourself. to raise your vibration. So here's mine. I serve thousands of yogis through high quality content that elevates how they practice and teach. This is my big vision. And I've tried on like, there's different numbers in there. I serve tens of thousands, 50,000 plus, 100,000 yogis through high quality content that elevates how they practice and teach. This should feel big. It should feel scary. It should feel, when I first wrote this, I felt scared to even say this out loud. That's how you know you're on the right track. Okay, how can you start today? I've given you some ideas, the homeworks, these mantra, starting to use ChatGPT to help you distill ideas, to just speak through things, to brainstorm. You can think of her as a great assistant, a scribe. You can talk through things. I will say, okay, I'm brainstorming an idea. I just need to say a blah, 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 blah. You can record for 5 minutes and just talk, and then say, okay, what are the themes that I'm dealing with? Give me, or summarize everything I've said in 3 sentences. Like, it's amazing. So I want to end content wise before I share my mentorship program with you. The next round is starting in January. Is that cultivating creativity? That's the core of what I want to encourage you to do. And it means cultivating blank spaces to listen to my intuition. We created a blank space at the beginning of this class, and blank spaces are the place from which you're going to hear your inner voices. You're going to connect with your wisdom. And from these blank spaces, that's where you're going to create content. And that's where you're going to begin to lead. So these are my favorite blank spaces: asana, pranayama, meditation, walking in the woods, weeding in my garden, daydreaming with a paper book or a magazine, somatic strength training, swimming laps, sauna. Sauna is one of my favorite times. I have like great ideas in the sauna, shavasana, and my beloved bathtub. I love my bathtub. Um, those are mine. What are your favorite blank spaces for cultivating creativity? Let's see in the chat. Anything I didn't, dancing, says Eileen. Yeah, yeah. What else? Give me any on my sailing boat, meditation in my yoga space. A lot of people talk about walking with my dog. Yeah, walking. Time right when you wake up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I usually just get up and it's just like I have to get out of bed as quickly as possible so I don't fall back asleep. I'm not great at luxuriating in the mornings because my alarm goes off very early and I just take off the covers and I count back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up, get down, meditate because I know my kids are going to wake up. It's like T minus 1 hour, 1.5 hours I have in the morning for my practice, and those are gold. Morning time, getting into bed, walking is a blank space, resting, restorative yoga is a blank space, cooking, absolutely, making art, 100%, trail running right before I go to sleep and do a body scan. Yeah, yeah. Well, bathtub, morning time, shower. Yeah, yeah, shower. Yeah. And I encourage you all to become religious about capturing ideas. I have a notes app on my phone. Like I have a note where I write down everything. And whenever is often also when I'm talking with friends, I'll say something and I will write it down right then because I know that that one sentence is the beginning is like a lot of times I'll say the subject line of a newsletter, like it'll be that. A friend said the other day, this is like my favorite example. We were having a girls' lunch and she was talking about how she takes Fridays off. And I was like, what do you do on Fridays with your day? Like, are you just doing laundry and stuff? And she goes, oh, honey, laundry is not self-care. And I was like, yes, writing that down. That is gold. Laundry is not self-care. So the goal is from all of this, what we've been talking about today, is to combine your biological intelligence with these tools of artificial intelligence. I would love to teach you more about how to streamline your process without losing your voice. Your voice is the key to it, and that comes through from your biological intelligence. Are you ready to go deeper? Give a yes in the chat if you would like to hear about the mentorship program that I'm offering. Oh, Renate, bless you. Yes, with four S's. Yes, sure, sure, sure. Yes. Okay. So, what is my Start Before You're Ready mentorship program? First of all, student feedback is humbling. Working with Lizzie gave me the confidence to finally show up online as myself. I stopped overthinking my content and started creating from a place of clarity. And I've been connecting with more students and actually earning more from my teaching. That's what we're looking for. I have a 2-minute video I would like to show you now from Sarah, who's in this round of mentorship with permission. And I think it just kind of encapsulates. Hold on, she's talking at me. I'm going to restart it. I got to let me go share my audio with you. And we're just going to look, it's 2 minutes. We're going to watch it together. Share sound, share. Okay, here we are.
Hi there. So I'm Sarah, I'm in London. And I just want to say already just how impactful this course has been. So on so many levels, I've got back into my early morning meditation, which had slipped, and following your process, love it. I can see that's now gonna hopefully stay because I can see how valuable it is. And then just all the things you've set us. I mean, looking back on old Instagram posts, yes, I might have had some of the elements, but not all of the elements you said. And then I've done some posts this week, and you've just given us a structure to follow. And I just feel it's really good. It's brilliant. Um, and then I followed your advice of asking my students for feedback for our USPs. Oh my God, amazing. So they've all come back. Yes, so many have been happy to respond. And I'm just getting recurrent themes coming back. I copied them all into ChatGPT, got that to refine it. And it's like, wow, my God, it's just really good. So I just want to say thank you. All of that burble, I just want to say thank you.
You're so welcome. That's really inspiring. I love hearing you. What I hear from you is that you have a sense of uplift and a sense of momentum.
Yeah,
And this is kind of restarted your, first of all, meditation, which is where it all starts on the
totally.
mat. And then your confidence, like asking your students, and then there's like, I know that you all are fabulous teachers.
Mm,
Like, you don't know how fabulous, none of us know how fabulous we actually are because we don't experience ourselves.
mm,
And it's so easy to forget what it is that we're offering. I love hearing that you had the courage to ask your students and
mm.
read it.
No, it's been really good. So just thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, so, okay. That, yeah, that's what Sarah said. Let me share back to the slides. So that's the vibe inside of mentorship. And the basic idea is I want to help you have making content feel easy. We're going to create clarity and confidence. We're going to build consistency without burnout, work with fear and self doubt, which we all experience, and we're going to turn momentum into growth. So, why does it work? Why does this program work? It's all about most teachers try to grow their business by hustling harder or copying marketing formulas that don't feel authentic. But this leads to burnout, inconsistency, and frustration. So, the approach I take inside mentorship is embodied creativity. You experienced that today with the beginning of the work that we did. Also, this sense of efficiency, which I'm obsessed with. I am a working mom. My workday is like between breakfast and lunch. That's my computer time and content time. I Zoom in the evenings, but like between breakfast and lunch, that's when I'm killing it. That's when I am, and that's not a huge amount of time. So I need to be really efficient. And those are the type of systems that I'm interested in sharing. Sustainable visibility. I've been at this for 10 years. Like, this is a long game and it's about attracting the right students. It doesn't matter if you grow your Instagram or you grow your newsletter, but the people on it are not the people that want your offerings. So it's about a sustainable approach. And together, these practices create a system that you can that can actually sustain and a business that grows with you. So the snapshot of how it works is it's 10 90-minute live group coaching calls with recordings. It's a structured teaching, mindset coaching questions. There's real-time feedback, accountability, connection with peers. There's a discussion board. And then there's weekly themes, writing prompts, homework that help you move into action. So the membership is for motivated teachers who are ready to stop overthinking and start publishing and reach more students. Big question, what is the investment for this program and the investment in yourself? This round is 2,800 US dollars or 2,400 euros. You can choose either currency, and there are payment plans for both options. I'm offering a Black Friday deal. I've never done this before. That's through November 28th. There's a special price of 2,100 USD or 1,800 euros. So that's 25% off through Black Friday. You are enrolling, if you enroll now, you're enrolling in the session that starts in January. So you're investing in beginning the new year with momentum. These are the dates. It starts on January 21st. It's Wednesdays at this same time that this class started today. These are the 10 classes. So it's not quite every single week. We take like spring break off and then we have a momentum call to get clear on our goals for the very end. And then we'll do our closing circle in April. It's Wednesdays. These are the times. It's 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in London, and 3 p.m. in Salzburg, EU. So the next step, if you're interested, I'm doing calls to see if it's a good fit. If you'd like to apply for mentorship, you're going to book a call. Here's the QR code that you can use right now to go to the website and book a free call with me. Or you can go, let me stop the share here and share with you. Um, if you go to lizzie.yoga, if you just type in lizzie.yoga, it'll take you to my website. And if you click on online courses, it'll take you to lassiter.yoga. And it's here under mentorship. If you go to mentorship for teachers, start before you're ready, spring 2026. And if you click on that, everything is here for you. You can click book your call and book a free appointment. And then this repeats what we've just talked about. Content, you can read through this at your leisure. And there's actually no way to enroll directly from this page. Here's some FAQs for people. So it starts in 100 days from today. Please book a call. I'd love to speak with you. If you're tempted, if you felt something from the work that we did today, I would love to talk about whether it seems like it's a good fit for you. And let me show you, I have a last couple slides. So, okay, I need to pause the recording because I have a special offer that's just for the people who are here with us live. We're back and we're coming to a close now. This is one of my all-time favorite mama quotes. I called her once. I was teaching a workshop in the Netherlands, early days of traveling and teaching. And I called her at the lunch break feeling, what was I feeling? Uncertain, imposter syndrome. Like I had made a mistake in the class and I was feeling overwhelmed, emotional. And she said, just love yourself, love your students, and everything will be all right. So I want to give you that idea as we close. Love yourself, love your students, and everything's going to be all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind attention. This was this was a wonderful session. I had a lot of fun. Thank you. Please make sure you're subscribed to the Start Before You're Ready newsletter. You can also find that through my website, lizzie.yoga. and you'll get invited to the future sessions. There's another one next month. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to post an Instagram story of this session. I will be delighted to repost anything. Oh, it's wonderful to spend time with you, Susanna. Okay, inhale, open the palms away from the body. With an exhalation, bring them back together in front of your heart. Namaste. May we live like the lotus at home in the muddy water. I'm going to go to gallery view so we can all wave goodbye. Thank you for being here. Lots of love, yogis. Bye, everyone. See you soon.